We're proud to welcome to our Sunday Let's Have Church broadcast Apostle Susie E. Jones and the Ministry of New Life every Sunday evening at 4 p.m. on 980 AM WDDO, the glory of Middle Georgia. Middle Georgia. Welcome to our Saturday morning power, praise, and prayer lineup when Zion travails with Minister Chiquita Hall every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 980 AM WDDO, the glory. True Essential Service LLC will personalize a care plan for you or your loved one. Meet with them for your healthcare needs or for an initial consultation. They're open 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. For more information, call 478-221-3434 today or email them at trueessentialservice@gmail.com or check out their website at trueessentialservice.com. They'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Allow them to help you decide the right path to better health and better living. True Essential Service LLC. Be sure to check out On With Don. On With Don, weekdays from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. with the best in gospel music on 980 AM WDDO, The Glory.
This is Bibb Sheriff David Davis. What does it take to be a Bibb County Deputy Sheriff? Physical agility? Yes. Mental aptitude? Of course. A moral compass that allows you to determine right from wrong? Absolutely. But it takes something more. A desire to be a part of something bigger than yourself, a commitment to serve with respect and understanding when people need you the most. If you possess these qualities, please apply today. Call our recruiter at 478-621-5605.
Dad always said there's two ways you can practice law. You can either be a jerk or you can be a gentleman. I prefer the latter. If you need us, the Dozier Law Firm is here for you.
I don't think I used the word jerk.
We call you Lord. We call you Adonai. You are Lord. Hallelujah. At the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are Lord. Can you help us say that? 'Cause at the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess you are Lord. You are Lord. 'Cause at the mention of your name, yeah, every knee must bow, every knee, every tongue confess, yeah, you are Lord. Sickness has to bow, and at the mention of your name, every knee, every tongue confess. Yes, you are. Oh, 'cause Jesus, you are Lord. It's just that easy. Jesus, you are Lord. Yes, you are. Yeah. Your sound is so sweet. Jesus, you are Lord. Yes, you are. Yeah. Oh, yes, you are. And at the mention of your name, the scales fall from their eyes. Once blinded eyes will see that you are Lord. So at the mention of your name, the scales fall from their eyes. Once blinded eyes will see that you are Lord. Say, Jesus, you are. Oh, say oh, Jesus, you are Lord. Oh, Jesus, you are Lord. Oh, Jesus, you are Lord. Somebody call on Lily in the valley, you are bright and morning star, you are heart fixer. I can call on you. It's my mind regulator. Hey, my heart fixer. You are Lord. Somebody call on. Have you ever been in trouble and you opened up your mouth and the first name that you called on, the very first name you said was Sheila? Because something happens when I call on the name of Jesus. Oh, demons tremble. Oh, when I call on the name of Jesus.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Welcome to Backpage. Backpage, a new program that speaks to community-felt issues and topics, discussions and solutions through both subjective Christian and spiritual interventions. Backpage is an open forum. And now, Backpage. Backpage with Reverend Gregory Jackson.
Well, good evening, and welcome to Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 6:00 in the city, and you're here on Backpage on WDDO, The Glory. 107.9 on your FM dial, 980 on your AM dial, and a host of social media from Facebook Live to YouTube Live, Twitter Live, Periscope Live, LinkedIn, as well as you can listen on the Glory app in the Apple Store or on Google Play Store, or you can just do live streaming on www.ddo.live. We are here. You also can, if you're in the area, you can also listen again to the station on 107.9 FM or 980 AM. So welcome again. We're on Backpage. We welcome you to this show, this time of sharing on Wednesdays, having fun, talking a little bit and making the things a little bit more clear for each one of us. So first of all, good evening to my sister, Reverend Pastor Mabel Randall. Good evening to you. Good evening to Sheila Worthy. Let me correct myself. Sheila Ann Worthy, good evening to you. Good evening to all of those listeners we have out there. We hope that you have had a good Christmas, a Merry Christmas, a blessed Christmas, and that you're looking forward to the new year. Lots of good things coming in the new year, but we have to remain steadfast. We have to remain focused on what we're doing so that we can walk into our blessings, walk into what is in store for us for the new year. So the number here at the station is 478-250-1444. Again, 478-250-1444 is the station number here. And feel free to call in. We're preparing for next week. Next week, we'll actually start our first series on our health series, It's Okay to See About Yourself, Part 2, where we will have physicians coming in to talk about their specialties, talk about health issues, health concerns, and to answer your questions, as well as there might be a few giveaways for you as well. So be sure to join in with us then. Trying to give you a little something to start the evening off with. Let's do something like this. Give you a little something. We've had Christmas and we talked about being grateful and where we're going. So let's do this. Let me give you a little something, little take back here, just to ease you into the show for tonight. Maybe that's something we all can work at, is being a little bit more grateful and thankful for where we are in this life. Okay, so just a little something to start you on the way this evening. Try to get this thing here together. I don't know what it's doing, but just something to start you on the way, that you have a little encouragement for the evening. Maybe it'll stretch over not just the evening; it'll carry you through the rest of this week and into the new year. Speaking of such, into the new year. We've had several different topics that have all ended up working together or coming together to guide us through the end of the year. And we're facing I guess we can say we're facing the dawning of a new day. We're facing a new year here in a few short days. And again, I hope everyone had a good Christmas and you were able to spend time with family and friends and those that you love, respectively, with the goings on with the COVID virus and what have you. Just big thing is to make sure you remain safe, remain prayerful, remain safe, and look out for each other. There's nothing wrong with looking out for each other and doing those things. I'm here in the studio by myself this evening. Dr. Summerow, the eye jockey, if you will, his mother is infirm. She's in the hospital. She's in one of the local hospitals. And we ask that you lift her up in prayer. Pray for her healing, that God will have his way in restoration and restoring her and healing her and restoring her back to her place and her position. So again, and not to forget to also make sure you include praying for each other. We all need encourage each other. It doesn't hurt to make a phone call, to send a card, reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a long time and tell them you're thinking about them. Tell them you crossed their mind. I had 2 friends that I reached out to today. Hadn't seen them, hadn't talked to either one of them, and they're brothers. Haven't talked to them in a long time. But good friends, have been with them in places with the military, and reached out to them and had good conversations with one. A couple of conversations back to back, and split. But then to come back in, the other brother, he called me, but I couldn't get him because I was here at the station. So I had to talk to him later on this evening. But it does good to reach out and let people know that you're thinking about them. So, have you ever been driving somewhere? You've been on a trip, or just here, in the city that you live in, and as you're driving, you might find yourself lost sometimes, or you make a turn. You might use that old GPS thing, and it might be outdated. It might not be telling you where you actually need to go. Kind of confusing you a little bit. So that happens, and then you find yourself sometimes pulling over to the side of the road and kind of questioning, okay, what did I do wrong? Where should I go? What's wrong with this GPS? I need to get another one. So that's almost like our lives, how we live every day. We're here at the end of the year. Today is the 29th day of December. We have 3 more days, 29, 30, 31. We have 3 days counting today until the new year comes in. And a lot of times we make all of those so-called, I won't say so-called, we make all those New Year's resolutions. But do we actually ever follow up on them? Do we follow them through? Do we take them where we need to take them and end up either making improvements, or do we end up just not being where we should after all the time and effort that we put into them? So that brings us to tonight's topic, which will be where do we go from here in 2022? And if we think about it, we look where we're going, we look where we've been, and we ask ourselves, where do we go? Where do we go from here? And there's an old saying that says, those who don't know where they're going are sure to get there. And that is a great moment of truth in that statement. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's a great a bit of truth in there, because even as believers, especially, there must be a goal or plan in our lives. There must be a goal or plan in everyone's life. But as Christian people, that's why we have the Bible. It's our daily directory. It's our guide. It tells us where to go, how to go, and if we're not sure, it tells us how to get there. Almost like we have in work, where we have our supervisor, or we have a boss. I don't say boss. We have a supervisor or a leader who delegates or tells us what the job will be or what we should be doing. So we need to do that too. We need to make sure that we have we follow the guidelines we have for our lives. And there's certain areas of our walk that are totally directed by, if you have to be honest, it's totally directed by the commandments in the Bible. The Great Commission is one of those. And we get that mixed up sometimes, because we think, or we suggest, that where we should be going is strictly with sharing, is strictly within the walls. But it needs to be out of the walls. It needs to be spread about. That's what the Great Commission is. The Great Commission is talking about walls that are unlimited. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? But it's talking about walls that are unlimited. And it means that you go outside the norm walls, or the walls that are considered as what we do with our norm within there. So it also tells us that something we're doing really wrong right now. I'm talking about the Great Commission for a minute, then we'll get back into what we're talking about. It also tells us to go share the gospel, to teach it and preach it. But it also tells us the most important, and here's where we're having a hard time right now with the heat of the political arena, with the heat of the pandemic. We're getting it wrong, because we don't follow what we should be doing. We don't care about one another. We don't love one another. We don't call and see how someone's doing. We don't do any of that like we should be doing. So it's not a suggestion, but if we look at it for what it is, it's actually a command. And so there are things that we do because we know without a doubt that we must. So why do we shortchange that? We got to think about that for a minute. Why do we shortchange that? Because we don't need to do that either. So that's just where we are. On the other hand, if we think about it, and we talk about, I'm dancing around tonight on purpose, not literally dancing. I'm talking dancing around. You've heard me talk about the 23rd Psalm a lot and how people use it as a just more strictly for sad times, for funerals, for things that are sad. But you shouldn't use it for that, because it's not meant to be used just for sad times. If we think about it, we ourselves are sheep. And who do sheep follow? Sheep need someone to follow, someone to guide them, someone to lead them. So we follow the great gentle voice of the great shepherd. And if you know this psalm just as much as I do, it said, the Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want, which means he's given me everything I need. Not everything I want, but giving me everything I need. And if we think about it, he feeds us. He leads us. He shows us what is right and what is wrong. He comforts us. And we all go through those periods of life, not just in death and mourning, but we go through those periods in life where we need comforting. Something will disturb us. Something happened to one of our family members. Something happened at work that really pushed our buttons. And even during that, we struggle with what happened and what's going on and what may happen, but we find comfort there too. And all that is required is that we would be followers. Isn't that something? All that's required is we be followers and allow him to be the leader. So one question asked, if we will, was, are you a leader? And if we think about that, think about all the people you're surrounded with every day. Think about the people you work with. Think about the people you live with. Think about where you are with your position at work. Think about people who are observing you and watching you to see how you respond when someone will curse you, or how you respond when someone will actually attack you in different ways. How do you respond, and what do you do? Do you set an example, or do you instead of turning another cheek, do you turn and take care of their cheek? And that could be kind of funny too. It'd be kind of funny as well as could be kind of dangerous. So the question again, are you a leader? And you will find it only proper to acknowledge at least one who was a follower, so they will have somebody to lead. So think about that. If everybody wants to be a leader, and everybody does want to be in charge at some time or another, if everybody wants to be in charge and be that leader, who's going to follow? So as we go into this new year, we asked ourselves again, where do we go from here? We need to make sure that in addition to being able to lead, we're also able to follow. So a lot of that goes in there, but as we grow spiritually, it's only proper to expect to grow enormously as well. If we go spiritual, we expect what we do to rub off on someone else, or share with someone else. So the numbers grow. More of those people seek and want to say, what can I do? What can I do? How can I get some of that? Because people see it and see that it's so good that they want to know how to get some of it too. So, and Sheila Worthy, I hear what you say. You said your mother, even in her dementia stage, would always read the 23rd Psalm out loud. And you said you believe it lifted her. And I believe it did too. Your mother definitely was a sweet spirit. And if you really read through that, it will lift you. It encourage you and lift you, because it talks so much. One day after the health series, maybe we need to talk about that. After the health series, we can break that down into different parts, almost like a Bible study. If we will break that down too. But as we grow spiritually, it's only proper to expect to grow, because we said that it's going to happen. But in the meantime, we will continue to seek God to find out, where do we go from here? And in this process, there are 3 things we really need to do. I hope you're listening to me. And before I say that, I'm welcoming calls. feel free to call in again for us. I like participation. This program is designed to be an open forum. There's going to be some changes in the new year. I'm steadily making some changes and drawing out a calendar. So we're going to keep you engaged, going to keep you excited, and keep you involved, and maybe involve you a little bit more. There's a lot of things have planned for the new year. A lot of surprises, a lot of things you might say, I wonder why, but it just happens. So anyway, those three things we really need to do before we go anywhere. And I'm talking about, you can say in a dual way, I'm talking about as Christians, but especially as Christians, we need to hear from God. Number one, we must wait on God. Number two, and we have to have an experience with God, those personal experiences, those stories of how we made it through something. We have to give credit where credit's due. So as we make it through those things, we have to have some kind of way of responding and sharing those things too. So we have to have experience as well. So again, I asked the question. Let's do this before I actually get to my little bullets that I want to talk about. Again, I'm putting the number out there because I want someone to call. I want someone to call and tell me as the new year comes in, have you made resolutions? Did you make resolutions last year, and did you stick to them? If you didn't stick to them, why not? And have you made resolutions for this year? I need some callers. Come on, I don't like being here by myself. So y'all call here and talk to me. 478-250-1444. So someone give me a call. I'm going to take a pause for a minute and just wait for someone to give me a call. If you don't call, I'll go ahead and jump back into what I'm saying. But I would really like to have someone to give me a call. And again, share with me, did you make a resolution or a promise or have a focus, have a critical focus that you wanted to follow last year, and then you decided you would put it off and never got where you were going because you were out of focus? How about that? Out of focus. Follow last year, and then you decided you would put it off and never got where you were going. Bad echo. How about that? Out of focus. Oh, hello, caller.
Reverend Jackson.
And then you decided. Hello. Good evening to you. Hang on one second, sir. I got a bad echo. Can you hang up and call me back again? See if I can get rid of the echo.
Okay. All righty.
Okay. I don't know if that was the phone or what it was, but that echo was in there. And we'll wait for the caller to call us back again. And I think that was my sister, Pastor Reverend Randall. So I think that was her calling. So y'all call in. I want to talk to you about that. Tell me about you. There's nothing wrong with talking on the radio. No, nobody's going to bite you. Y'all can see me, but I can't see you. So feel free to call. I want you to call and talk to me. Tell me about those resolutions, those plans that you made last year and what you did with them, and did you follow them through? And then come back and tell me again what you did.
Hello, brother.
There you are. Now you're real clear. I had an echo. I don't know if it was my end or your end or the middle way end. I don't know where it was coming from. But good evening to you. How are you?
Sometimes that happens, you know.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
It's
You have an interesting topic for tonight. And I do want to say that last year I did make a resolution. Did I stick with it? I think I put on the chat that we make them, but we stick with them for a couple of weeks, and then we're done with them. That's what happened to me. I mean, I made them. I was really planning to stick with it, but I did not. Am I going to make one this year? No.
Okay. So why not? Why not make one this year? Is it because of you didn't follow through last year like me, or?
I'm not going to make one because, I just feel like whatever God has for me, listen to Him. He will lead and guide me. I was probably trying to lead Him, for making those the resolutions. But and sometimes we really fall short with resolutions.
That's true. We really do. And the sad part is we start making excuses when we fall short on those resolutions.
And one thing that I tell myself, well, Mabel, you have fallen off the chart. You are completely off the chart. And of course, God forgive me, I had all intentions of doing that. But when we follow God, when He shows us the area or areas that we need to work on, I think we'll stick to them better.
I think that's right. I think when we're exposed to them, and especially when we're really strongly directed to them, because sometimes too, especially that when we're shown things that we're supposed to be doing, we got to give our 2 cents worth. We question it. We want to know why, even in advance. Why do I got to do this instead of just doing it, instead of being prayerful, instead of just going ahead and doing what we're supposed to be doing. And I can say I have found, I'm sure you have too, is in projecting and making promises to ourselves, or resolutions, if we want to call them that, or even trying to be focused on the next year and seeing where we're going. Sometimes when we do those, we have those stumblings for just a few minutes. But if we would sit still for a minute and be prayerful over those things, it'll be revealed to us. And then we'll find out that the things that we're supposed to be doing that we actually did ended up, first of all, because people were asked a lot of times, how can people who are Christians, how can they have fun? People say, how can a preacher have fun? You got to have a boring life. No. I do all the things I do, a lot of the things that I used to do. I say, if I play golf when I can, I like to sing when I can. I try to do all the things I like to do, but it doesn't mean you do things a little bit different, but you still do the things that you love doing. But you make sure your point is clear and your focus, even for the new year, that you love God. That's the most important thing. So,
well, one of the things that I have found too is that since September, since I've been sworn in, been ordained as the pastor of the church, I find myself more focused on the word, because I don't want to get up there and be out of order.
right.
So I spend more time in the word, studying and asking God what He would have me to share with and my people. And one of the things that for 2022 is that, God is going to be revealing so many things to us
That's right.
in 2022. He's going to reveal, He's going to uncover, and one of the things that we must be ready to accept it, and ready to move, and ready to go forward.
That is
Because
so true.
because if we are truly living for God, and where we want to go is where God is already working.
And that is
We
so
don't want
true.
to go any place else but where God is working. That's where we want to go.
And that's right. And you will find that when you do that, you will find too that you find that you got a lot of comfort there too. You find that you feel good. You feel good when you're doing that, when you're being obedient to what you're supposed to be doing. You find so much more comfort in that as well. So
Right.
it makes a difference. It really does make a
It
difference.
does. And another thing too is that going into 2022, we can't drag all that trash we have with us.
We
We
really
need to
can.
leave that trash in 2021.
That is
You
so
know,
true. But
we cannot bring discord. We can't bring family issues that are troublesome. We can't bring those. We try to resolve those before the new year, because it's hectic to go from one year to the next one, and you always have issues. You always deal with the same identical thing. And why?
and that's right. And they never seem to go anywhere. I mean,
That's
they
right.
never seem to go anywhere at all. So it's just amazing that it's amazing really we allow ourselves to be entangled in that when we already know what we need to be doing and how we need to be doing it. And
Right.
that was part of my question. And when I decided, when I write these things up, I gotta say hello to Rosa too. Hello, Rose. I didn't overlook you. I see you out there. Good evening to you, Rose, up in New York. Hello to you. I don't just put them there. When I write these things, when I write the shows, I take my time and wait to see what's there, what I should talk about. I think about people. I think about how we're hurting right now. I think about where we all fall short sometimes. I think about things that we need to do.
Mhm.
Now, just being honest between us here, if I had to make a resolution, which I ain't gonna do, and I didn't say I'm not, I said I ain't gonna do.
Okay.
What
Okay.
what I would do is work on a couple of things. Hello again, Rosa. Thank you for responding. That's our friend up in New York there. She's one of Dr. Summerow's virtual members up there. So she's good to
Okay.
see her. Always good to see her in here. She's a wonderful spirit, a good soul to have in here. But my thing that I would do, and you've heard me talk about this many times before, is I need to learn how to go to sleep. I
Mhm.
need to stop staying up late at night, piddling around or going to build something or reading. But that's my best time really for reading is late at night. I
Mhm.
read. I do a lot of writing, and many people don't know that I've actually been working on a couple of books over the years.
Okay.
I have so much material already done. You've heard me talk about the actualizer back home in Ohio. That's my good friend. We call each other
Mhm.
cousin, brother. Um, he's the one who did the book Motown Hits. But we did that. We did that with trying to, just get together. And he's been encouraging me as well as Pastor Kimball's been encouraging me. Just go ahead and get it done. But I
Mhm.
have so much already that. It's in book form. It's manuscript form. It's been, and I keep adding to it. I add to it. I add to it. I add to it. So
Uh-huh.
I just got told off. I was told to prioritize. I can't talk. Prioritize my sleep and health, and I got to do that this year. That's not a New Year's what I say resolution. It's a promise to myself. So I got
Right.
whoa. Oh, whoa. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Mr. Turner. TLC has spoken. But I got to. Remember, hold on, just 1 second, Pastor. I got to send a shout out. I saw something that brought a smile to my face here. This is from someone back home too. Nanetta Banks Jordan, one of my youthful childhood friends. I used to cut her and her family's grass over and over and drink a Coke when I got done. But she's known to most of us as well. To me, I call her Netta B. She's gonna always be Netta B. But good evening to you. Good evening to you back up there. Up north, away from here. It's probably cold, and we got it nice and warm down here. So I had to say that too. But good evening. I'm glad you joined us. That made my day right there, seeing you in there. So that's a good thing. So that always gets me. It makes me feel good when I look up there and see that someone from back home, all the way up the road, has joined in and said something. That's been a nice regular here lately. So
Right.
Netta B, I got to tell you real quick. Hit your follow so you can follow, and then hit your share. So get it out to all the folks so they can sit up there so you can see who's on the radio down here in the South. I sounded a little Southern myself. So good evening to you again and blessings. Thanks for the blessings. I receive them. And hello to your family. Even the men in your family, despite them making, I got to go this. Y'all forgive me for a minute. Despite them making a different choice in a fraternity matter, but that's okay. So I said it. 1908 was a good year, and I think about 11. So that's okay. But anyway, good to see you on there. And Mr. Turner, again, you're right. I agree. I need to do that as well as I need to put some priorities in there. But Reverend Ronald is saying I need to do that. I need to go ahead and work on those things because truth is the body's tired sometimes. So when you staying up late at night, 4 or 5 o'clock, then you go to bed and you still get up early in the morning to make your day go. So
Mhm.
I just got told off again. My friend back home told me get on subject and leave her husband and her sorority alone. So they're different. She's in that old I ain't gonna say that old, that pink and green fraternity, and her husband and their family are alphas. So that's okay. I won't hold that against them. But they're good people. But I need to focus on that. That's my thing. I need to make sure that And I've made some headway, Rembrandt. Pastor Rand, I've made some headway. I have started going to bed a little earlier. Unless I'm disturbed by something. If I'm disturbed, I'm not going to go to bed. Or if I'm disturbed or something's bothering me, or something I need to work on, or a lot of times too, I'll get something come across to me. I'll be given something, and I have to take action on it. I have to take action. I have to keep. I lost my thought. I have to keep on what I'm doing. I say if I get it, it's revealed to me, and something I need to write, I will write, and I will stay upright. And I used to keep a little pad, but now I keep a full legal pad because the writing just gets more and more and more, and I get to the point of where it gets good, and I don't want to stop because, and yourself when something's revealed to you and you're writing it, the focus goes there, and you'll want to stay up all until you get it done. And especially in the night, if you're preparing a sermon or something, and how many times it changes, it changes.
Right, and I'm sure that you have started working on it, and I'm sure that you'll get better with it.
That's true.
The more you go to bed, the better things are going. The more you're going to do it. But
right. Feel better too.
Getting back to, where we go from here, I have learned that we have to be conscious about what God is saying, because if we look at it, we cannot be going to the right and God is already on the left.
Now that is true.
That's why I say we have to go where God is, and He will let us know. He will.
That is so true.
He will let us know. He will let us know, because if we don't have a plan, where are we gonna go?
Absolutely nowhere.
God's word said, write the vision and make it plain. And if we read the word and we hear God and we know that God is saying, okay, I need for you to spend more time in prayer. That's a plan.
It is.
God is always waiting for us to pray.
Exactly.
So that's why I say we need to focus on where God is.
We do. And
there's
and
a
again,
book that's called Experiencing God, and it talks about how often people miss out on God because they don't know where He is.
Yeah, and that becomes a problem because He's easy to find. He's very easy to find. So it puts us in a peculiar situation, really, because we already again know what we're supposed to be doing. We know what we're supposed to be doing, but if we would follow what we're supposed to be doing,
right.
And if we would take our own advice as well as take spiritual advice, scriptural advice, and even advice from other people that is good advice, and that goes back to what we said a minute ago. Before we go anywhere, we must hear from God. Before we plan, before we do, and you find that when you do that, things are in order more. Hello, Sister Moselle. Good to see you out there too. So good to see her out there too.
But I know someone else might be wanting to call in.
You're okay. You're okay. If we allow Him, God will show us what work to do. And if we think about it, He gives us each a specific work to do. That goes back to talking about the gifts that we all have, all those different gifts, all those different talents. We all can do something better than someone else. No one's completely perfect. They can do it all by themselves. But we take all those things, even in a business. If you look how a business runs, a hospital, that's a good example. A hospital, especially during these pandemic times, a hospital cannot work efficiently. A hospital can't get nothing done. A hospital can't treat people. They can't provide therapies. They can't provide medication. They can't do nothing unless they have everyone working together like a fine oiled machine. And when those things come together, there's healing, there's education, there's life changes, and that's the same thing with us. Because when we allow what what God has done to fall in place. There's a whole lot of good that comes from that, because all those little inner workings, all those little talents, all those things that we all have come together and work for the good. Where I might not have something, you do. Where someone else might not have something, they do. So it all comes together and plays good. And there's so many examples out there, even with Moses, all the problems Moses had.
Right.
He had specific work that he had to do. And, we can say we all have our own ideas about what it takes to make life successful, our own life, what it takes to make our job successful, what it takes to make our family successful, what it takes to make, even our spiritual life successful. But we have to be ready to go to work. We have to be ready to go to work, and not just be one of those people who would get a vision, who would get an idea about doing something and let it stagnate. We got to hit the ground running. When we have an idea, when we're focused, and this is where I'm talking about going into the new year, when we're focused on where we should be going into the new year, we got to hit the ground running, and just be excited, not wait to implement the plans that we've already formed, and take notes. If as the new year is coming, if it's something you want to do, if there's some changes, and I know I'm gonna get some comments about that. And Netta Banks, you right about faith. Faith is oh my goodness, Sheila Worthy and Netta Banks, Netta B are both saying it's a faith in God's plan. It's really important that we have those things, because that's going to be our guide to what we do. So we got to hit the ground running. And one thing we have to do too, we have to recognize that, yes, like Sheila Worthy said, it's God's plan. Like Netta B said, we got to maintain our faith. We do. And the biggest thing that we have to do, we have to realize that we cannot afford, in no shape, form, or fashion, to get ahead of God, of what He has in store for us.
Amen.
And if people can't get that, and this is equated to your job, you have a special task that your supervisor has given you, but you don't know what it is yet, but you want to please them, you want to get ahead, so you take a big jump and you jump into it exciting, but you can't get ahead of your supervisor. You can't get ahead of what God wants you to do as well. So those are just things that we need to do. And when we do this, and we realize that God has called each one of us to do a specific work, He'll give us the details. And we've heard over and over again that He won't bring you through to something, He won't commit you to something unless He equips you to do that.
That's it.
And we know that already. So Brother Paul got that right in Galatians when he wrote, "But when it pleased God, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me into His grace, to reveal His Son in me, that I might preach Him among the Gentiles." And when the Lord called Paul, he did, just like each one of us, He's given him a specific work to do. And each one of us, it might not be a work of preaching. It might not be a work like that. It might be a work of sharing. It might be a work of nurturing, of healing. It might be a work of administration. It's all these different works that are out there for us, and we need to remain focused on what we do. So,
and that's why we should know and understand that there is no little work in the church, and there is no big work. All work is important.
Right. And one of the big things that stymie us with that is also too that we get I won't say inferiority, but we get the feeling that we're not good enough. And we ask the question, who will do the work? I'm not good enough. That's the biggest thing that comes up. Is you hear us a lot in a lot of different things. We don't stretch that faith. We don't carry that faith like we should. And we're saying that I can't do that. I'm not good enough. I'm not gifted enough. If we think about it, think about all the different things we've had. And I go back to Moses again, because Moses stuttered. And I relate that because in my early youth, I had I stuttered a little bit. And if I'm really tired, I might slip a little bit too. But that's been over. It wasn't a bad case of stuttering. But imagine Moses saying, "Let my people go." Now, imagine those who heard him doing that. And first thing to them, and how people are, they're gonna say, he needs to sit down. He needs to sit down. He sounds like he's crazy up there talking like that. But He's going to equip you to do what you need to do. And sometimes He puts things before us to get our attention or get someone else's attention. And if he called, I got to agree with that too. That Charmaine Turner, Miss TLC, she put that in. She said, and I got to agree with that. If he calls you to it, he will equip you. And that's what we've been saying, because God has a way. And, I used to say that, and I was wrong when I said it. I wasn't wrong, but I needed to reshape it when I said that God had a sense of humor. And, we hear that a lot, that God had a sense of humor and how he does things and how he shapes things and how he gets us to do things. But it's more so, he might have a sense of humor, but he has more of a sense of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And if we allow his purpose to be, his will be done. And we need to remember that too. His will be done, not ours. And we'll find that we're doing a whole lot better in life, period, if we do those things. So
That is so true.
Yeah. And if we try, I say this and I'll let that part go for a minute. If we try in our own strength, we will not have great success.
No, we're going to fail.
We'll fail. And, so many biblical examples. When God sent Paul and Barnabas out together, look what happened, and look at the story. You know the story of that already, but it was the power of God working through them that accomplished such a great work, because he allowed them to work together. He brought them through it. He equipped them and allowed them to do what ultimately his will was to be done. So that was a good thing. So
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, okay. I'm going to get up with this telephone and let somebody else call in.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna issue a challenge. Thank you for calling. It's always a joy, and you know that already from our conversation. It's always a joy when you call in. I look forward to that. I know there's others out there who want to call, but they don't like talking on the mic. They don't like being live, but I enjoy having you participate with me on the show. You've participated with me in so many other walks, and love you for that. And just that's why I say you.
All right. Well, I'm going to remain on the line. I'll probably be chatting, through Facebook.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm sitting here looking at the screen, so I'm gonna throw out a few challenges. I'm not gonna bother my one friend, because I know she doesn't like being on. She told me last Sunday she does not like being put on the spot, so I can't put her on the spot. She knows who I'm talking to, so I know Sheila will call me. But I'm gonna issue a challenge up north. I'm going to ask that Miss Banks Jordan give me a call. You have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'm going to ask that I'm going to reach out. I want, if she's still on here, I want Miss Nanetta Banks Jordan, Netta B. I want her to call 478-250-1444. I'm throwing out a challenge. So call in and share a little bit with us. Give us a little bit of that former Southwestern Ohio, but you had to go up into the cold weather country. So give me a call. Give us a call here on Backpage and talk with us a little bit. And you might remember too the origin of Backpage. If you think back to the days of our younger years of WDAO, they had a show on Saturday named Backpage. But this Backpage was just playing back. This is Backpage 2018 with all permissions and what have you. So again, the number is 478-250-1444. 478-250-1444. I need some more callers, y'all. I got about 14 minutes before my time is up. So someone give me a call, Miss Jordan. I'm expecting you to call. Sheila Worthy, I'm calling you out. I'm calling the Turners out. I'm calling everybody out. So the only one I'm not going to call out is my friend on there, because I don't want to put her on the spot, even though she's already on the spot because I said it. So call in and talk. Let's talk about that. I got about 14 more minutes. And again, next week, you got to make sure you follow and share, because next week starts off, again, the series, It's Okay to See About Yourself. Again, where for those of you who are joining us a little bit late, that's where we have we're having special care providers. We're having doctors come in. We're having wellness providers. We're having all these people come in to talk to you, to encourage you and answer questions about your health or health-related issues. And when they come in, the phones need to be lit up and burning, because the purpose is to give those things for you. So I got another caller here. Let me take this call. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Backpage.
Good evening, Mr. Reverend Jackson. This is Nynetta Banks Jordan calling.
Netta B, how you doing?
I'm well. Happy holiday, happy Kwanzaa. How's it going? I was just so blessed to turn on my Facebook and see that you were on today. I am following already, and I do share.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You don't know how that made my day, made my evening when I looked up. Because I sit in front of a monitor and, the engineer's in the other room in front of me. And I'm sitting there looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute. And so that just brought a big smile to my face. And I had to go there, too, about those other two things.
I know, but we're not listening to that.
I know that. So that was my converse. I had to do it. I make light of that all the time. But
we always do that. I know that's our conversation, which is very sweet, and we can relate to that.
We do. We can. And I was sharing earlier, you and your family were and are a very important part of my life and who I am. And I thank God for y'all because, from the days of cutting the Johnson's grass, and if they didn't come out, I always had something good and cold to drink or some good conversation. I never got to finish the grass when I was supposed to, but that was okay. That was okay. And then through school and talking through school, and over the years as we've matured, we haven't gotten older, we've matured. So, absolutely. And the thing it is. And you know what? I'm gonna be vain we look good too for as old as y'all are. You hear what I said?
Well, right now I'm glad you can't see me because I've been cleaning the house all day. So this is not the day, but yes, I still have it in me to fix myself up.
Oh yeah, and that's not even an issue. We know that already too. So. But yeah, that made my day. So I mean, it really did. Look up and see that. I just started. If you could have seen, you got to go back later on and look at the video, because you can always look at the video anytime. And you look at my face when I realized that your message was on. I was like, oh my goodness, I just got a little tongue for a minute. So
I was watching. I was watching as you were talking and listening to making sure that we get prepared for the new year. And you're absolutely right. We have to stay focused and lean on the Lord to make sure that we are walking in the right path. And I believe this might have been the second time I've heard the show. I normally am on early in the morning, and there's another minister, I believe, that's on. So I've been looking for you, and now I found you. So I will definitely click on around this time on, is it daily?
It's Wednesday, every Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And like I said, now the guys you listen to it in the morning, they are actually the station owners. Drive Time with Apostle Rozier, Vertice Rozier. He's one of the owners, and then Don Scott, Bishop Don, High Praise at noon. They are the owners. Check them out if you get a chance. They have a good show, as well as the lady I was talking to just a minute ago, Pastor Reverend Mabel Randall. Check her out. She has a show on Tuesdays called The Call.
Okay.
Check it out. It's a good show, good programming. The station has really done well. And this is my 4th or 5th year doing this. So it was with another station at first. It wasn't really there. I'll leave that alone. But this station is everything it needs to be, and then some, to be on all those social media platforms live, and then on the 2 local radio stations live, and all those other things. So it's a high for me on Wednesday to be able to come on here and share with people.
Well, it was definitely a pleasure to see that you were on. And as you said, from whence we have come.
That's right.
And now here, and that is God doing his work.
That's it.
I'm very happy for you. I'm not going to stay on long because I'm not one to talk, and I know we'll start joking in a minute. We'll lose all focus.
I know. Let me throw you a curveball before you go.
What?
Okay. What's real quick? What was one of those resolutions you might have made, or have you made one for the new year?
I don't really make resolutions. I just always try to make sure that I am doing the best that I can every day. So if something falls short, I just try to, lift myself up and move forward. My purpose in life is to make sure that I serve. And my main serving, as you know, is being a teacher of special ed children. So that's where I'm focusing and moving in this path as I walk in daily. daily.
And it's expected you would be an educator anyway. You're from an educating, you're from an educated and educating family. And I don't know if you remember, my mother was a special needs, special education teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, she
Absolutely.
taught at McKinley for so long, and then she went down to Hamilton with the Butler County Board of Developmental Disabilities and Mental Retardation. She went down there and worked before she retired. So educators are near and dear to my heart, as well as my daughter is an educator. So
excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
So that's a good thing.
Bravo for her. Bravo.
You made my day. You truly made my day.
Well, you made mine also. When I clicked on and saw that you were on, I said, "Oh, I got." And I'm gonna have to tell you all though, please increase that number because I could barely see it with these old eyes.
Oh, see, I already have my correct. So we'll make it bigger. I'll have AJ make it real big and put it on the screen.
They make it a lot bigger because these eyes were straining, and thank goodness you were calling off the numbers so that I could call you.
Well, I'm glad. I am so glad because that made my day. And I like talking. I got a big mouth. I like talking anyway. So
that's why you can get that grass cut.
That's right.
We will talk soon, darling. You take care of yourself.
All right. Blessings to you, dear. And we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, dear. Okay, so that made my night right there as we going into this. I still have room for another call. I got about 4 minutes left. If I wasn't doing my medical series, I would continue this because it's got some meat on it too. And sometimes the conversation gets so good that we have to shift and deviate a little bit. But I want to give you a reminder too, before we act on anything we act on in this life, we need to be prayerful about it. We should wait on God. And we need to remember that the Lord carries out his promises, and the covenant that God made with Abraham involved blessing, possession of a land that God wouldn't show him, but the promise that land would be that special land would be revealed through his lineage, that all the families of earth would be blessed. That's about like us because we are part of that lineage, that heritage as well. So we would be blessed as well. So while we're on here, it is the still a Christmas holiday season, the gifting. So I finally made the change. For those of you who would like to gift this show, gift Backpage, we finally have a Backpage Cash App number. So it's Cash App Backpage 2018. So if anyone would like to bless the show, continue in our ministry work, cash $, Backpage 2018. So I think I got it right. If I didn't, it'll tell you, but it should be right. I had some guidance to help me do that. So again, any of those getting gifts would be appreciated. Help continue this movie. We want to go into the new year with expanding to an hour and a half because it's so much information that we want to share, and we don't mind doing it. We do it because we love you and we love God and we love serving people. So wow, thank you. So I got it right. I probably wasn't gonna get it right in the beginning, but thank you for putting that. And I hope I said it right. If I didn't say it right, correct me. $ Backpage 2018. So $BACK PAG, all one word, 2018. And you can help us to continue the show on as it goes. And a lot more surprises, like I said, a lot more coming up into, I don't know, I think I got about 2 minutes left. AJ, tell me how much time I got left. As we go into the new year, a lot of surprises for you, a lot of new things. We want this health series to envelop you and just to engulf you, and you participate in it and share and learn. We're going to have everything. We're going to start at the top. We're going to start at the head. We're going to start with but not exactly mental health on down to your feet. We're going to have wellness coaching. We're going to have cardiologists. We're going to have psychiatrists. We're going to have OBGYN. We're going to have pediatricians. We're going to have everyone in here. So you need to share this with your friends and family. Make sure you follow and share because, again, we're going to try to have some giveaways as well. We're going to try to have some of the providers to give us some giveaways, some little either some little treatment, not treatments, but listen, some testing or what have some just general that can help you and help you get on page with where you need to be, not on back page, but on front page with where you need to be. So the time has escaped us as it usually does, but it always does when we're having fun. Something about sharing with all of you, it just does something to me, and it brings me joy, and I hope it brings you joy as well. It's a new day is coming, a new year is coming. Love somebody, hug somebody, pray for somebody, lift somebody up, encourage somebody, send them a card, tell them you care about them. And above all else, share love. Love can conquer all. So that's what we're asking that you do. And we should be doing it anyway. That's pretty much the gist of it. So again, thank you for joining us on Backpage this evening. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. I'm sounding country round on it. Look forward to seeing you next Wednesday on Backpage again, where we'll be doing the health on the health series. And again, blessings to you. That's from the TLC Coach Terrell. Blessings and love to all. TLC Coach. We love you all, and we're so grateful to you for being here with us and sharing with us. It means a lot. It means a lot to have your presence. And like Charlie Wilson is singing, I'm so grateful. I'm very grateful for each one of you. I'm grateful to all of you who have imparted something into my life, and that's each one of you. And it brings me joy. So have a great evening. We'll see you next week on Backpage again on WDDO The Glory 107.9 on your FM dial. Good night.
Thank you for listening to Backpage with your host, Reverend Gregory Jackson, Associate Minister at Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church. Backpage is community talk that examines community issues with the intent of shining a new light to those affected, concerned, and desiring better. Join us next week at 6 p.m. for Backpage with Reverend Gregory Jackson.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM.